Hey everybody, it's Dan with Pain for You. Listen to those birds. We're almost in spring. I think we're about 10 days away from springtime. So today's topic, somebody asked me if I could speak about the concept of jinxing themselves. In other words, they're starting to feel good, no pain, and they're almost afraid to talk about it or mention it or even think about it, because when they think about it or they talk about it, inevitably the pain comes back. And they wanted to understand, I think, number one, why that happens, and number two, what to do about it. So first of all, why does it happen? I believe it has to do with the brain and the neural pathways. And eventually, if you get kind of the idea that you're actually okay, and you lose the fear and you lose the focus from the pain and start living your life again, you're going to start to have some pain-free or symptom-free days. And then oftentimes we think, wow, that's too good to be true, or we start talking about it like, hey, I'm feeling great. And then what happens? Boom, here comes the symptoms or the pains again. And I believe that has to do with when the brain loosens the connections and it starts forgetting to fire these pain signals or symptoms. By redirecting our focus to the pain, the brain says, oh, I thought that wasn't important, but now you're talking about it, so, oh, here it is, and it reconnects. And all of a sudden now you start feeling these symptoms again. This is not scientific, this is just Dan's thoughts. So if there's any doctors or medical people out there and you say, that's not how it works, this is how I make sense of it. And I believe I'm correct in this assessment that the neural connections are still pretty close together, but not firing because you're not thinking about them, you're not worried about them. But when you do think about them, even in a positive light, like, hey, my symptoms are gone, my pain's gone, the brain goes, oh, these connections, that's what you're looking for. And it reconnects them, and before you know it, you got some symptoms. So I think that's why this happens. So now what do you do about it? I guess if you can, and I know it's really easy to get excited. It's really fun to say, holy shit, I'm having a good day. I'm having a great day. No pain, no symptoms, right? And we want to scream it from the rooftops. I will say this. If you talk about it in a positive way and the symptoms come back, the first thing I'll tell you is don't care. Understand that's why it happened. And just kind of decide that not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to freak out. I'm not back to square one. It just means, I just told the brain, I gave the brain an instruction to say, reconnect those signals, and it did. So simply understand what's going on. Don't freak out about it. Take a, oh well, whatever. And then know better the next time to say, well, don't expect the pain to come back. Because that's the other thing, the nocebo, the belief that talking about the pain is going to bring it back. It's obviously based on your experience. It's happened once or twice, and now you believe that to be the case, so now you're like, can't talk about any of it. I can't even mention the word pain because otherwise it's going to come back. That belief will actually have it come back much more likely than if you just decide, hey, it might come back, it might not, no big deal. And if it does, so what? I know I'm on the right track. I'm getting better. The fact that I had a pain-free day means that I am getting better. It means I can get better completely. It's just that you got to keep on keeping on with this focus away from the pain, this focus on living your life, on what matters and what you want, as opposed to focusing on the shit you don't want, the pain or the symptoms. And the key is, and this is not just when you jinx yourself and the pain comes back after a good day, but a pain flare-up. Let's say you're an average 2, 3 on the pain level, a little annoying, but all of a sudden, whammo, it jumps to a 6. The key is don't react with the freak out. Just take it the way I've been talking about for all these videos. It's like, whatever, not a big deal. I know what's going on. Pain flares, remember, it's the brain's perception of some kind of danger, whether it be a physical danger, a movement that you did that the brain still believes is dangerous, the nocebo, or a social situation, or an emotion that came up that the brain still perceives as dangerous, or anything. Like I could be going back to work and the brain perceives that as dangerous. There goes the pain. So, look, there's all sorts of reasons that the pain is going to come back, and what I will encourage you to do is the things that have been working to turn down the volume on your symptoms and your pains, by all means, just get right back to doing them, and don't let a blip in the pain coming back after a good day throw you. It's just how this stuff works until it works permanently. And so, again, what gets you to the finish line is what will keep you across the finish line. Do not think that if the pain comes back after a good day that you're starting from square one. You're not. Just remind yourself that you're actually already well. So hopefully this answered the question about, how not to jinx yourself, and if it does happen, what to do about it. Same thing goes for a pain flare-up. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. I know it feels like you're starting over, but you're totally not. You can't forget all the good things you've learned. You can't forget that you had your pain at a lower level, and this pain flare-up is just something in the brain is screaming danger. Take a look and say, what is my brain perceiving as dangerous? Connect the dots. Reassure yourself that I'm actually okay. Yeah, I might be returning to work, or I might be going to a social situation that I might feel a little bit awkward, but hey, brain, don't need the pain to remind me that it can be a little bit awkward in a social situation. And then decide, I'm okay. Don't give a crap about the symptoms, and then move on. Go have some fun. Go get back into work. Dive into that. Hopefully this helps. Don't worry, you're not going to jinx yourself. You're not going back to square one. It's just a temporary blip on the journey to the finish line. So, love you guys and gals, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.